What's up guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about the new Modern Warfare 2 beta gameplay and what my personal thoughts are about the game. Personally, I think Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer as a game is going to be flopping in general, just as bad as Vanguard did, if not worse. In today's video I'll be talking about why I believe this game will flop, and I want you guys to please do subscribe if you haven't already. Please do drop a thumbs up to today's video, and also do comment down below and tell me what your personal thoughts are about the game. Much once again guys, let's get right into this. Now, the first thing that I want to bring up in this whole debate is when you load into Modern Warfare 2, at least for the beta, you notice one thing. The menu design is very confusing. Everything's chaotic. Everything's spread out. When it comes down to, let's just say for instance, Black Ops 2 or older title Call of Duties, they were a lot simpler. You load into the game, you know where everything is, you know where your class setups are, you know where your score streaks are, the barracks, your stats, where to load up to whatever games, what kind of mode you want. All of that is straightforward, to the point. But nowadays, with Call of Duty, what I've been noticing with this trend is everything's getting more and more complicated as the years go by. They say that they're trying to introduce a Call of Duty for new players and for old players, for everybody in between. But if I'm being completely honest with you, if I was a new player and I had never played Call of Duty before, this would be very confusing to walk into and just try to find out how to set up a gun, how to mess with my class, how to do anything that's basically going to give me an advantage in the game is going to be hard to understand if I am a new player. If I am a returning player, even then it makes me want to punch myself in the face because I don't understand why I have to go through 14 different menus to get to one option. This brings me to my next subject, and that is unlocking weapons. Now, I don't know if this is going to be carrying over into the full release of the game in October, but from what I've noticed in the beta, unlocking weapons has been a pain in the butt. For instance, looking at the Lockman battle rifle, in order to get the Lockman AR, you had to level up your Lockman battle rifle, and in order to get the Lockman sub, you had to level up your Lockman assault rifle. To the casual player, this is going to be very confusing, and they might not actually even try to get this done because this just puts an extra step in the actual unlocking process. I feel like this is very unnecessary, and I feel like just simply leveling up your character or your actual overall rank should be the way that you unlock weapons. This has been how Call of Duty has been since it started, I believe. So why would they change it now? If you had a successful algorithm and your game was growing, why change so much stuff just so you can say new? Nobody wants the basics of Call of Duty and the fundamentals of Call of Duty to change. For instance, think about the minimap. The minimap, people liked the red dots showing up on the actual minimap whenever somebody fired their weapons. Now, I will say that some people do not like that. Some people prefer the new method. But I will say traditional Call of Duty was successful because of how simple it was. You didn't put a suppressor on your weapon, you're going to pop up on the minimap. The menus were simple, the guns were simple, the attachments were simple, the maps were simple, the characters were simple. You didn't have to worry about knowing what attachments you need to put on this weapon because this has anti-recoil, but this gives you more damage. No, long barrel was long barrel, foregrip was foregrip, suppressor was suppressor, fast mags were fast mags, extended mag were extended mags, etc. The attachment system back then was so much simpler, and Call of Duty was a lot more popular than it is today. Genuinely, I will say that the only thing that's been keeping Call of Duty alive recently would be Warzone. But now with Warzone 2.0 coming out and seeing the gameplay of that, I don't know what's going to be carrying this franchise anymore, because if multiplayer flops and Warzone flops, where are we all gonna go? But enough of that, let's talk about the new perk system. So the new perk system gives you 2 base perks, 1 bonus perk, and 1 ultimate perk. Now, the 2 base perks you get at spawn, so it means you load into the game with those perks active. Moving forward to the bonus perk, you get that after 4 minutes of gameplay. You get the ultimate perk after 8 minutes of your gameplay. However, you can shed down your timer for these perks by getting objectives, getting assists, getting kills. Anything that will earn you points or score in the game will help shed down that timer. Every 10 points you get will shed down 1 second off of your timer, meaning if you get an assist and it gives you 50 points, it'll be 5 seconds. If you get a kill, etc. Anything that gets you points will get you time off your timer. Once again, this is way too complicated and unnecessary. I understand they were trying to do something different, something out of the ordinary, but people loved Call of Duty because of how simple it was. They could make it their way. They can make their perks their way. They didn't have to level up certain things. Now, understand this will introduce a new skill gap because, of course, it's going to make people have to actually play a different play style. I understand that, but I feel like this is very unnecessary because all they really needed to do, give us 3-lane maps, give us a simple way to unlock our weapons, give us better movement and better gunplay, and overall you'll have a good Call of Duty. People aren't asking for too much. We just want simple maps, simple guns, simple mechanics, everything back to its root. Call of Duty would be back where it's at again, being on top with multiplayer. Moving on to my next subject, being movement. Now, the movement in this game is complete dog water. It feels like I have weights inside my pockets. I understand they're trying to do with the whole realism thing, but we are playing a video game at the end of the day. We are not actually being in a simulation playing as soldiers. I want everybody to understand this. Yes, graphics are amazing whenever they're updated and revamped. I understand. But when it comes to actual gameplay itself, we should keep Call of Duty in an arcade-styled shooter. This is not some milsim. This is Call of Duty, an arcade shooter where you're killing people over and over again, respawning. Nothing that you do will be realistic in this game because you cannot respawn in real life. So I want them to try to understand. I don't want to move like I have 1,400 pounds on my back. Moving on to my next subject was gun handling. Now, this is probably my favorite thing with the game. The guns feel really smooth. Now, I will say that the muzzle flash on certain weapons are horrible and it's hard to see sometimes. The recoil control, I actually don't mind it too much. In my opinion, I feel like that adds a different skill gap as well. But the muzzle flash, I do feel like needs to be toned down, but they already talked about that and the developers have already said they're going to try to tweak that before full release. Other than the muzzle flash though, the guns do feel really nice. The handling of them feel really nice. If you're building your gun for recoil control, you can definitely tell that you're building it for that reason. If you're building it for damage or mobility, each gun, the way you build it, will have its trade-offs, and I actually think that's a fair advantage for each player. Moving on to my last subject being the visuals. Now, the visuals look way worse than Modern Warfare 2019, and it's actually kind of comical that we're 3 years past 2019 and the game looks worse somehow. But, I mean, I'm trying to get the developers, benefit of the doubt because this is the beta. However, I don't really see them changing too much within a month. But, yeah, we'll just see what happens at full release. But I feel like this game is actually a major step back and not a step forward in the right direction. I understand the developers have put a lot of time into this, and honestly, I do applaud them for putting so much patience and time and effort forward, but they really are completely ignoring the community, which are the people who actually buy the game, play the game, we're the consumers. So I feel like they should take our opinions into account. I understand not changing your full entire base game, but when you're just blatantly ignoring the community in general, and the developers are completely just saying, nope, we're keeping it this way, we want it this way, it's going this way. That's just not right. In my opinion, it turns me off to Call of Duty in general, but we'll just see what happens at full release and see if certain things change for the public. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys don't mind, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and also do drop a thumbs up to today's video, and also comment down below and tell me what you guys think about the new beta for Modern Warfare 2. If you guys are going to be purchasing this game, or if you guys are going to be playing this game after launch. Much once again, guys, peace.